Hello, I'm Meg Salyer, and I have the privilege of serving as the Ward 6 Councilwoman for the City of Oklahoma City. And we have a real treat today. We have two special Ward 6 groups that have collaborated on a really fantastic program for the students at Capitol Hill High School. So with me today I have Alex Sosa, who's the principal of Capitol Hill, and Terry Trail, who is the theater department, which is wonderful. I want you to tell us about that. And joining them is Megan Elliott. And sense of disclosure, Megan works in my office during the day in her full-time job, but she also is the president and co-founder of the newest Rotary Club in Oklahoma City Midtown Club. So Megan, welcome, and thanks for being here. Your club, and I guess I'd like to start a little bit by talking about Rotary, just for the viewers that perhaps don't know much about what Rotary is. It's an international organization that was founded more than 100 years ago in Chicago by a businessman whose name was Paul Harris. And he actually was from a small town in Illinois, moved to the big city, and he found that life in the city was kind of lonely. And so he came up with an idea to meet once a week with other businessmen at the time and get to know each other, believing that through fellowship and goodwill and service, they would be able to better their community. And so the motto of the club is service above self. There are over 1,200,000 members in Rotary around the world, I think represented in about 150 different countries. And so it's an amazing organization, and we're very fortunate to have a number of clubs housed here in Oklahoma City. And so, Megan, how did you, number one, come up with the idea of this service project? And tell us about it.
Well, one of our club members actually is a neighbor to Ms. Trail, and was talking to her one day, and through conversation we heard that she was taking her own personal tools to the school for her students to use, and he came back to the club and said, hey, I think this is a great way we can help one of the schools and the students and keep in touch still with our arts focus as OKC Midtown Rotary. And we went to work and saw what we could come up with, and we're just thrilled that we're able to help them with this.
So you were bringing your own tools in to build sets and do all the work that you were trying to get done in theater?
Yes. So it had to be done, and I have tools, and so brought them up, and the kids were very respectful, and we used them, and that's how we got things done.
Well, it's fantastic.
Until now, and now we've got an amazing collection, thank you, for our club.
Great.
Classes.
Well, it really is, you know, it's a lovely combination of fitting your mission, and I know that your club is really focused on arts education and trying to help young people, and to be able to put those pieces together was great. Tell me, you delivered last week, did you?
We delivered last Monday morning to the students. We had a group of probably about 8 to 10 Midtown Rotarians with us, and all the tools, and we got greeted by Ms. Trail and her whole class. We got a tour of the school, also to see the MAPS projects that are underway in the auditorium, and it's really amazing.
Well, I know that when I walked out of my office, I saw a car lid open, and there was a gigantic trunk full of things. What were you guys able to put together? What kind of things were you able to provide?
Oh, you may have to help me with the list. We had miter saws, and we had multiple drills, and backup batteries, buckets, paint brushes, nails and screws, and
a full set of Makita cordless tools with backup batteries, and a DeWalt table miter saw that's just beautiful.
Oh, how wonderful.
It's just beautiful.
Yay.
And all the hand tools were exactly the ones that we needed, hammers, and one of the gentlemen in your group said that he had in the past taught drama, and so he was like,
perfect.
I know you needed this, and I was like, I did.
Oh, that's
so it was
wonderful.
perfect. I mean, it was almost as if I had made the list, you know, and I'd gone to the store like I had money and purchased it, and it was wonderful.
How much money was the club able to raise? How did you?
We did $1,700 through combined club donations and also a district simplified grant through District 5750 of Rotary International.
Great. So using an ability to really leverage your club's local dollars and then reach out to the district.
Absolutely.
And, that's a wonderful program.
Absolutely.
Now, the day after the things were delivered, an email came. So why don't you guys tell us about this a little bit?
You want to start?
Well, I got the email, you know, of course, one, thanking them for letting us come into the school and meet the students. But the email from Ms. Trail, really gave me the warm fuzzies, and I relate it to my club members who were just thrilled with the response. My understanding is that the students now are planning to pay it forward to someone else in the community, which is absolutely a theme in Rotary, and pushing that forward and helping the community we can. So it's just wonderful to hear that students are taking that up.
Well, that's really nice. Explain how that all came about, Terry.
Well, I took the kids downstairs, and they knew that we were getting a gift. But they didn't I didn't realize that they didn't really understand what was happening until we got back up to my room. And I'm like, isn't this amazing? And they're like, yes, it's great. And I'm like, this is amazing. And they're like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, do you not understand? And they're like, not really. So I said, okay, well, let me explain. These people, out of the goodness of their heart, heard that we were in need of tools and supplies. And so the kids were like, well, why'd they get it for us? I'm like, to be nice, and to be just wonderful, giving people. And so they sat and pondered, and kind of, digested that for a minute. And then they're like, well, we should do something. And I'm like, yes, we should. And it was a small class, but every one of them were nodded. They all kind of leaned forward and were just really vested in doing this. And now we bring it up every day as part of the lesson. And this Friday is when we decide a culmination of this lesson, where they have done a little research and decided if they want to give locally or internationally by buying, we've been looking at, I think it's Heifer International. I've got it on the website.
Yeah, it's a fabulous project.
And buying some goats for cheese, a couple, or we're going to buy the water tubes. I can't remember the name of them. Water is Life.
Water is Life, yeah. Megan's worked on that
Right,
project
Club
a
does
lot.
that. We think that's great.
So those are the two, the highest in order that we're looking at now on doing. So
well, it's just fantastic.
They're so excited, and they're so excited from having received that they feel anointed enough to really want to pass this on. And I've just not seen them that excited about really anything. And it's just, thank you.
Oh, it just makes me feel great. It's absolutely wonderful.
You really started something.
And
so
these kinds of partnerships are the things that will make and do make our Oklahoma City Public Schools work the way they should. It takes, it's a very trite thing, but it does take a village to make all these things happen. And, I know how difficult your job is on a day-to-day basis, and you can't do it alone, and your teachers can't do it alone. But there sure are a lot of good things going on at Capitol Hill High School. So tell us, you've now been there, Principal, for about a year?
I've been there 2 years,
2 years.
Yes.
Great.
A little over 2 years. And yes, it's very important for community participation. I feel like that some of our teachers have a little more of a gift to combine with other business and provide, but Ms. Trail always seems to come and connect with the community and has really shown in our school through the drama and debate and so on. So it's
well,
very exciting.
and you bring the community in by putting on those kind of performances. So already you're building, bridges with hopefully parents and grandparents and local folks around the community. I said when you walked in, I just love your jacket. Tell me about it. And is there a story behind it?
Yes, the story is we try to bring it back some of the, school traditions that is common for different type of, high school, all the things that goes around. So when we mentioned that, the Letterman jackets will be available, a lot of the students in our area did not know exactly what we're talking about. So the administration decided, well, let's just buy, and a couple of teachers did too, bought the jacket and started wearing it and told them, hey, if you play a sport or participate in an activity, you can be a Letterman and you qualify to purchase a jacket.
Excellent.
And that's kind of like how it came about. So.
Well, and Capitol Hill High School has such a rich history
yes,
in this
very
community,
strong
and
history,
such a strong alumni association. It's really nice to see those traditions continued. Capitol Hill is right in the middle of the construction phase of our Maps for Kids programming.
Yes.
And I guess I'd like to hear about that, but one of the most exciting things that's happened in the theater.
Yes.
And as the demolition was going on, I understand that you uncovered some fabulous murals and carvings.
Yes, original plaster work, I believe, and concrete work that was surrounding the stage area.
Great.
And instead of covering back up, I believe through the school, the city, and all the councilmen and everything, we selected to actually renovate and
Fantastic.
bring it back to life what used to be there.
Great.
So it's
Well,
gonna be
and Terry, you
beautiful,
were
very
describing
nice.
a little bit about what it looked like.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about the facade and then the.
Yeah, the proscenium arch in its entirety is decorated with faces that are actually look like they're leafed in gold and fleur-de-lis, and there are different grapes and different insignia that we use on the front facade as well of our school. It looks it's very reminiscent of a Notre Dame with the scribe and the scholar and the young man and young woman, and then all the coat of arms, and it's just amazing.
Right, and the school was originally built in 1928, is that correct?
1928,
So
yes.
these harken right back to
Oh.
the beginning of the school,
Yes,
which
they're
is
yeah,
just
exactly. I
gonna
mean,
be fun.
when you walk in, you just get such a sense of its history, and it's so much more grand, you know, to have that kind of decoration, and I think it'll really affect the kids when they go in and realize what. I think that shows them their heritage and their history, and many of the alumni were the ones that came in and looked and said, "Yes, there it is."
Oh, fantastic.
And it was
and
marvelous.
it creates a real sense of place,
Yes,
a very,
very nice.
special,
Yeah.
Unique environment for the kids. And I said, from the city's perspective, I said, I did know that I saw kind of a large change order come through
Yes.
to be able to pay for it. But that's, the reason that when we budget for these kinds of projects, we have contingency funds available. So in case, when you're dealing with old buildings, whether it's an old school or an old house or renovating an old commercial building,
Yes.
you do find things from time to time that were unexpected, and so it's a real treat to be able to see it. Do you have an idea of the timeline?
It seems that they're looking at the end of the summer, maybe October,
Okay.
September, October, before we are able to actually start using the auditorium.
Alrighty, and you're working now on the second floor right now.
Second floor, which the second floor actually is attached to the balcony, right? In the back. So
Okay.
that's one of the reasons the second floor is being redone
Great.
at the same, right at the same time as the auditorium.
Well, I am truly looking forward to the ribbon cuttings.
Yes.
We'll fast forward to that
Yes,
as soon
very
as
nice.
possible. Anything else, Megan, you'd like to share about your Rotary Club? We've got about a minute or so to go.
Well, we are the newest club in Oklahoma City area. We're a young group of professionals aged roughly 33 or so is our average age. Meet every Tuesday evening at a fun location in Midtown. That's James E. McNally's Public House. So anybody that's interested in learning more about Rotary International and how we can help schools like Capitol Hill High School and other programs outside of just the education system, I encourage them to stop by. And
Great, and you've got a website, don't you?
we do. It's OKCMidtownRotary.org.
Perfect. Great. Well, I appreciate you all coming so much. We tried to do this a couple of months ago and found ourselves caught in an ice storm and weren't able to do it, but it's just so heartwarming to be able to see these collaborations, and I'm really delighted that the combination of the Midtown Rotary Club and my Capitol Hill High School were able to work together. It was very, very nice. So thank
Yes,
you all for
thank you.
coming.
Thank
Appreciate
you very
it.
much.
Thank you.